Hello, or as they say in the land of the rising sun, konnichiwa. My name is Quence, and I'm a theme park expert. That's good news for you, the viewer, because it means you're in very good hands as I guide you through my trip to Tokyo Disney Resort. Tokyo Disney Resort is located somewhere around here, right in the area where this happened and some of this happened. I've covered Walt Disney World extensively in previous video (S), but trust me, if the only Disney parks you've experienced are on American soil, oh, brother, listen to me, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tokyo Disney officially launched in April of 1983, and I happened to visit the park 40 years later during its 40th anniversary in 2023. Very exciting. Unlike literally every other Disney park in the world, this one is not owned or run by the Walt Disney Company themselves. Instead, the park is licensed out to the Oriental Land Company, and they do a way better job. On this adventure, I'll be covering all the rides, shows, and astoundments at both of Tokyo Disney's major parks, Disneyland, one word, and Disney Sea, one word. There's so much content here I can't even fit it all into one video, which is why I'm splitting this up into two parts. Yeah, I can hear you salivating already. This one's for all you freaks out there who just can't get enough. By the time we're through, you won't even want to go to Tokyo Disney anymore because I'll have thoroughly ruined it for you. Let's get started. Or as they say in Nippon, misu kudasai. Now, if you're traveling all the way from a foreign country to Japan, you're probably going to need a place to stay. Unlike Orlando, Japan makes it illegal to be homeless. A smart and affordable option would be to stay at one of the fine hotel options located right in the heart of Tokyo Disney Resort. The Tokyo Disneyland Hotel is a great one for fans of Tokyo Disneyland. It's conveniently located right across from the entrance to the land, and it's beautifully decorated with shrubberies and gazebos. Look, there's Mickey, Minnie, and Donald. But maybe that isn't close enough for you. You could also stay in the Hotel Miracosta. This one is inside of Disney Sea. It's literally inside the park. That means anytime you need a rest from a busy day running around the park, you can return to your hotel room, stand at your window, and expose yourself to other guests. Those hotels are kind of fancy, though, and I'm a humble fella who doesn't like to show off or spend money, which is why I opted for the Tokyo Disney Celebration Hotel. It's a celebration of saving about $1,000. When booking a room at the Celebration, you have the option of staying in the Wish side or the Discover side. I heard that movie sucked, so I went with the Discover side. This place is all about rugged adventure and exploration, like in colonial times when we slaughtered all those folks. Throughout the lobby, you'll find little 3D dioramas, previews of things to come. Are these elephants found in the Jungle Cruise, or is this a very realistic version of Dumbo? You'll never know unless you keep watching. Discover Mickey is ready for adventure, with an iconic look, a classic throwback to Disney's Davy Crockett series. Remember when he killed him a bar when he was only 3? Remember when he fought single-handed through the Injun War? Remember when he give his word and he give his hand that his Injun friends could keep their land? The rest of his life he took the stand that justice was due every redskin band? Hey, no need to be ashamed or embarrassed. We're in Japan now. No one cares about American racism here. This is just the tip of the iceberg, you'll see. You're gonna really like this. When you take the elevator up to your room, Mickey talks to you over the speakers in Japanese. I mean, maybe you will like it. I didn't like it because I didn't understand what he was saying and it made me feel unwelcome and confused. Not gonna complain about these digs though. This is a standard room that sleeps 3 people, or about 1.5 Americans. On the walls, you can see depictions of some of the attractions we'll be experiencing together today, from Splash Mountain to even the realistic Dumbo ride. Garden side rooms give you an excellent view of the courtyard. Currently, they're celebrating Pirate Christmas. Get ready for some culture shock as you enter the hotel bathroom. Or should I say bathrooms? Here you've got the toilet with a urinal built right into the top. And then right next door is the walk-in bidet. Why, Tokyo Disney guests from Australia might just step inside and say, "Bidet, mate." Did you forget to bring any clothing with you on your trip? Not to worry. The Celebration Hotel has you covered with this convenient sleeping robe and slippers. The slippers are free whether they fit or not. The robe you have to leave behind unless you want to steal it. I really need my rest, so I'm going to hit the hay so we can get an early start for our big day tomorrow. You don't want to start your day empty-stomached, which is why you might want to stop by the convenience store located right inside the hotel. Japan loves their convenience stores, and you will too. During your stay, you'll experience all sorts of exotic cuisine, like this bread with meat and cheese, or these tubes. You can even spend money on stuff here, like at these gashapon machines. Insert some yen, get something out, but you don't know exactly what it's going to be. It's a godsend for finicky idiots. Right around the corner, you'll find the Disney Fantasy Store. It's a big empty display of Disney merchandise that you can't buy here, but you can think about buying it maybe for later? I know this pizza will be a little controversial for some of our viewers, but in Japan, pretty much everyone is pro Mickey shapes. That's why you can get a pan shaped like him too, or like a fish. Look, I don't have time to go over all this merch here right now. You're going to see this stuff later on in the parks themselves. The Country Bears, Donald, Heffalumps, Chandu, and of course, coffee moments. Hey, here's a coffee moment for you. Me drinking my coffee on the bus on the way to the park. They should take a picture of me and put that on a mug. It's just a quick 20-minute bus ride from the hotel to the parks, during which you get to enjoy beautiful, scenic nearby Tokyo. This is different from Disney World, where you can be trapped inside the bubble for your entire stay, never once having to be reminded of the horrors of the outside world. It's okay though, remember, it's not legal to be homeless in Japan, so you don't have to look at any unsightly, unhoused folks. It's a utopia. When the bus unceremoniously dumps you on the sidewalk, you'll then have a bit of a trek to the park, during which you'll pass by Bon Voyage. Who taught these fucking idiots how to operate a camera? It's the perfect place to do some warm-up shopping, or to get last-minute gifts for friends you don't like that much after you leave the park at night. Who taught these fucking idiots how to operate a glasses? By the time you're through with the parks, you could be as well-traveled as Mickey Mouse himself. Did you know that he was born in Burbank, California, which of course makes him a citizen of the world? That's right, if you marry Mickey, you get a green card for every country. But your morning just won't be complete without one more form of transportation, the monorail, decorated on the outside with various characters, or perhaps the 40th anniversary logo. It's a great way to experience the polite, quiet culture of Japanese train cars, without having to actually experience one. Just pull on this when they're at your stop. It's one of the two parks. Hey, look off in the distance. You can see the Toy Story Hotel. God damn, people in Japan fucking love hotels. Now, depending on how early you get to the park, you may have to wait in a line. So make sure you bring something with you to do while you wait, like Sudoku or an adult visual novel. We're going to kick things off with Disneyland. This is the park that has the most rides similar to what you might be familiar with if you're used to the American versions. I don't want to scare anybody off right up front. I don't want you to get culture shock. So I'm going to ease you xenophobes in before we get to the really good stuff. Now I know what you're thinking. How can Mickey and his friends be over here in Japan when I'm always seeing them back home in California? Well, the answer is private jets. The first thing you're going to see as you walk through the pearly gates of Tokyo Disneyland is the World Bazaar. In many ways, it's reminiscent of the OG Disney Main Street, but it's for the whole world. And if it rains, you're okay because the whole thing is housed underneath this protective sheet of heat magnifying glass. Makes it feel like you're inside of a greenhouse or a biodome of some kind. You know, it really completes the Main Street World Bazaar effect. Now, sure, the World Bazaar is comprised of restaurants and gift shops, but also there are gift shops and restaurants. There's no shortage of opportunity for shopping here, window or otherwise. Who's gonna break it to Minnie that Cinderella only hangs out with her because it makes her look better by comparison? I don't have time to go shopping in the World Bazaar right now. We're 55 minutes into this video and we haven't even seen one single goddamn ride yet. Here's a sight for sore eyes. Walt and Mickey standing proudly in front of Cinderella's castle with hordes of the Japanese behind them. It's all right, we're welcome here. See, this plaque says, "May the magical kingdom be an enduring symbol of the spirit of cooperation and friendship between the great nations of Japan and the United States of America." That's right, this one's for us. Two bros, best buds. France, Canada, Indonesia, fuck off. Hold on, what did you think? You could just waltz into this park and go on any ride you wanted without any fuss nor muss beforehand? Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but indeed, Tokyo Disney, like other Disneys, will require you to download an app. I mean, you don't have to. If you want to have a shitty time, go right ahead. But if you want to actually get things done, you're going to need to educate yourself. You can use the app to check wait times. Some rides you can reserve specific times for free, and some you have to pay for if you want to skip the lines. Those are what's known as premier passes. If you want to make sure you see everything and get everything done in one trip, you're going to need to spend some of that yen. Fortunately, the yen ain't doing so good, so it's not going to cost you that much. Let's start with Fantasyland, which is all the way in the back of the park. I've had a few fantasies in my day. I hope some of them come true while I'm here. Oh yeah, I've always wanted a ride where I spin around in teacups really fast. This is really doing it for me. Unlike the other parklands, which are completely realistic and non-fiction, Fantasyland houses all of the fake stuff from Disney properties. Like the aforementioned teacups from Alice in Wonderland, which are patently ridiculous because teacups aren't that big. If you're hungry, you could stop by the Queen of Hearts banquet hall. I didn't because I don't support the monarchy or women in positions of power. Get used to this. You're gonna see a lot of popcorn stands in this video. Popcorn is the #1 export of Japan, it turns out. Every street corner in Japan has a popcorn stand with a line around the block. Masses of fans eager to get their teeth gnashing on a new flavor of corn. And I don't just mean kettle corn or caramel corn or any of that basic ass shit. I'm talking about berry cheesecake popcorn. Yeah. Does that sound good, motherfucker? Well, see, that's a normal-sized teacup. It's ironic because he's the Mad Hatter, but in this insane world, he's actually one of the most sane people there is. Woman in power. What is that? Come on. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm wasting your time with this fucking bullshit. Nobody cares about this Alice in Wonderland crap. The reason we had to explain those premiere passes is because we're not wasting any time. Right off the bat, you gotta start with something big. And that's one of the most exclusive and exciting rides in Tokyo Disneyland, the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast. It's 2 for the price of 1. This is one of those rides that only exists in Japan. I think because over here they're more comfortable with the age gap between those two characters. There's the Beast's castle in the distance. Just like the one in Orlando, only instead of an overpriced restaurant, it's a ride that you can actually enjoy. Hey, come on in. I'm just a little guy. I don't mind if you go in, I don't want to talk too much 'cause I'm shy. I love the look of this place, the rocky mountains, the steamy mist swirling underneath. Great place to push one of your enemies to their death. Entrez-vous, s'il vous plaît, entrez-vous. Oh man, we haven't even been in this country for 5 minutes and already I'm speaking a different language. It's confusing. I wish it was just all in English because I could just make more sense. You know, some people like oak, others prefer chestnut, but I have to say my favorite has always been the tapestry. Don't be fooled, I know it looks boring in here, but look at the mantle up there. That's right, those are actual characters from the movie. There's a little spot, just one little spot, where if you look at it, it is fun. Flowers, fruit, medieval stuff. Oh, and look, another fun spot. I remember those teapots. I remembered when they spoke. Look at this, a vintage rotary phone. You're not downloading any apps on this thing. Oh, listen closely as you progress through this hallway. You might see or hear something from one of those suits of armor there. I'm strong. I'm so strong I can fight you. I'm a knight. I'm a knight. I'm a soldier. I got a big stick. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm a tough guy. I'm so tough. I'm a knight. See that stained glass depiction of the prince back there? That's what's known in the industry as a triptych. So I'm not fully fluent in Japanese, but I am more or less competent as a speaker and as a translator. So I can tell you the story of this ride is that an old lady curses a man to be an ugly old cow monster. He moves in with a beautiful nerd, and they have arguments from across balconies. The most romantic place to have an argument, until they re-theme this place with Muppets. Finally, after being introduced to the concept, we get to enter the bowels of the castle, the servants' quarters, where all the Downton Abbey folks hang out. Holy shit, look at this. You can see their silhouettes behind that sheet. Oh my god, they're totally nude. Damn, somebody fucking hates Ale West. Like, you could have just removed the key. The slashing claw marks were unnecessary. Look, there's some books that I don't plan on reading. They're very boring, I can tell. So what's the deal when they turn all the servants in the castle into inanimate objects like a candlestick or a clock and shit? Did they not have a candlestick and a clock before? Because like when they turn back, you know, when she turns back from like a feather duster, it's not like there's another feather duster. You know, she transformed into a feather duster. Okay, sure, I can believe that. But then you're looking at this guy. This guy's a stove, an oven. So what? There just wasn't an oven before? Did they not have a kitchen with appliances? What about the armoire, you know? Where did they put their clothes before this person got turned into a physical cupboard? Does it hurt? Does it hurt the oven man to have food cooked inside of him? It's hot. I'll try not to think about it, but you know, thinking about all this French cuisine is making me hungry as I stand in line for this ride. Kind of wish I was fed. Kind of wish I would be fed. Once again, they load you up into giant teacups. That's sort of a hallmark of Fantasyland. You can't really call it a true Fantasyland attraction if there aren't giant teacups. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but please just try to suspend your disbelief this once as we open the garage doors and enter fantasy. Spin around really fast. This ride's long, it really lasts for 10 minutes, which is longer than the average one at that. Immediately you're going to see the production value in Tokyo is a lot higher than the American theme parks. I mean, look at this. Look, they went all out here. They got a cake, they got dancing silverware and plates, they come out from underneath the table. I don't even know how they do it. It's fucking magic. It's the Be Our Guest scene from the movie. You're in it, you're right in the middle of it, you get to enjoy it, you get to sing along. What more do you want in a ride? Then you're transported to this beautiful winter courtyard scene. It's clear that they pay attention and take care of their animatronics, treat them well. I think Belle kind of wants to fuck this pony. What, you draw the line at that? It's okay that she wants to fuck the anthropomorphized beast man, but a pony is a line too far for you? What do you people want from me? But this is the best part of the ride, when the beast transforms back into a human prince. Normally my least favorite part of the movie. It sucks. Why do you want him to be a human? He's an asshole. I like the beast man better. And you know Belle does too, like I said. But anyway, this part is crazy because he spins around and it's an animatronic thing, but then he turns into a human thing, and I don't know how they do it. It's with mirrors or space magic or holograms. It's one of the three or a combination thereof. Next level shit for those Japanese Imagineers. There's the chandelier. Yes, it's in 3D, just like the movie, but now it's not CG. It's a real chandelier. But this ride's not the only thing here to enchant Beauty and the Beast aficionados. You've also got these beautiful village shops. I mean, mostly it's an area used for the line for the Enchanted Beauty and the Beast ride, but also there are shops. Bonjour gifts, au revoir gifts. Namely, there's Gaston's Tavern. Guy's even got a fountain of himself outside with his little buddy LeFou. LeFou is French for the foo. You know, people like to shit on Gaston, but look, here he is gifting this beautiful public fountain to the village. That probably would have cost the taxpayers a lot of money otherwise, and here he is just building fountains, pulling them out of his ass, throwing them into the middle of the sidewalk. I say good for him. I've been eager to get a taste of true Japanese cuisine, so why don't we just start right off with Gaston's Tavern? I think that's going to be a pretty good representation of what we can expect in this country. There's a beautiful, spacious dining room in here filled with opportunities for gaming. I don't know if you know Gaston, but he's a pro gamer. Chess, hunting, darts, whatever. I ate this French toast sandwich, which dares to combine breakfast and lunch. Bold. I also had a fruity fizzy drink because I like to have a little sweet treat to start the day. I think I deserve it. You know, Gaston and I have a lot in common because I'm also hairy and roughly the size of a barge. I've got a lot in common with the star of our next attraction too. Because I have no brains, I'm frequently pantsless, and all of my friends are imaginary. It's Winnie the Pooh, and he's got a honey hunt for you. This is another one of those top rides that people will say you gotta go on if you're at the Tokyo Disney because of how much better it is than the lame-ass, shitty-ass, piece of shit, fucking-ass, bitch-ass, motherfucking-ass, shit-ass shit that we got over in the States. Take a close look at this book. We're gonna be in that book later. It's part of the extended queue for Pooh's Honey Hunt, the first half of which is outside in this lovely gazebo-like setting. Actually, quite a few of the Tokyo Disney queues are outdoors. This one has some shade to it, but sometimes they don't. And locals are out here in 90-degree heat wearing long pants and suit jackets. They're built different, I don't know. Hiya, Georgie. You want to stick your hand in this honey pot? Damn, it's messy in here. It looks like A.A. Milne's house after he had a stroke. I'm trying to read this map, but they don't tell you where you are, so it's kind of hard to get a lay of the land. I think I'm between Eeyore's shaky house and where Tigger's bounce. The sticky place sounds like my house after I've had a stroke. How magical is this? Now we're in a book. We're literally in a book. Get fucked, LeVar Burton. Of course, all the text is in English. Well, that's just great. I really wasted my time on fucking Duolingo for the past month. Remember that chapter in Winnie the Pooh when Winnie the Pooh asks Rabbit if he'd like condensed milk on his bread? And then Rabbit gets real despondent and has an existential crisis. And then he starts being a little bit fat-phobic. And then he sexually assaults Pooh and laughs about it. Rabbit's my favorite character. You know, people in Japan are a lot more open-minded than Americans. For instance, the homoerotic tension between Tigger and Pooh is way more obvious here. Like, I'm about to go to my sticky spot in a minute, if you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, the ride is pretty good too. All our friends are here, like Kanga and Roo, and you get to bounce up and down with Tigger, and you get to have one of these fucking nightmare fever dreams, you know. I really liked this homage to the director's cut of Ridley Scott's Alien. Wait till you see what a fully grown xenomorph looks like after the chestburster pops out a piglet. Japan fucking loves Winnie the Pooh, you know, because he's so small and cute. I believe the term they use here is chibi and kawaii. You'll find Winnie the Pooh merch all over the country, but obviously there's a lot of it here too at the end of this particular ride. There's relaxing Pooh and sleeping Pooh and sexy flower Pooh. They even sell you some of these defects that they forgot to add color to. This one is cute. It's Winnie the Pooh reading Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead to Piglet. Honey tastes even better with just a splash of Pooh's unfulfilled dreams. I don't know what's going on with this one. It looks like there's a pat of butter on his head, but it should be honey. His entire persona is based on honey. What, he's just a pancake in this one for some reason? Maybe it's condensed milk. You're going to see a lot of washcloths at the Tokyo Disney gift shops as well. That's because in Japan, they don't believe in paper towels or electronic drying machines in the bathrooms, and their hands are constantly sopping wet. That's why I make sure my hands are sopping wet before I touch every piece of merch in every store. You can buy actual honey here too, except they spelled it wrong, by which I mean they spelled it right, which is wrong. See, this one spelled it wrong, which is right. To be fair, I guess English is not their first language. Stop trying to insert butter into my honey goods. I'm on to you motherfuckers with your butter agenda. Pooh looking lame as hell here. Tigger looking cool as fuck. That's the power of font choices. Not everything at Tokyo Disneyland is an exclusive. A lot of it's the same shit we have at home, just cleaner and better maintained. Obviously, there's Cinderella's castle, iconic in the center, stunning, and obviously it's mobbed by stupid tourists trying to take dumb selfies in front of it. Outside the entrance to the castle, you have your traditional medieval gift shop, where they stick miscellaneous shit that doesn't really fit in anywhere else. Here's a romantic gift you can get for a partner. It's a Jafar shirt that says, "All mine." Or an angry Cruella shirt that says, "You drive me insane." Maybe you're dating a goth girl and you'd like to get her one of these Tokyo Disney Resort fashion dolls. Actually, here in Japan, this is what is known as Lolita. Here's something I need more of. You can buy individual pieces from the Haunted Mansion ride, like the cars that you ride in and everything. I will not rest until I can recreate this entire attraction one-to-one in my own living room. Not like that. That one I don't like. We got special Mickey Pocky. This is a Japanese delicacy. If you don't know, you gotta snack on this. Why people out here, they're snacking on them all the damn time. It's the #1 import-export. If you want to sweat even more than you already were, you can get one of these giant sacks of fur and strap it to your large head. The washcloth thing is starting to make sense now, isn't it? Let's keep our eyes on the prize here. In the castle itself, there's a much higher class of gift to enjoy. For people who can actually afford to go to a theme park instead of people who just go to one anyway. This is not an employee. This guy came in with his own name tag and started setting things on fire. He had to be removed. They covered it up, but it was one of the scariest moments of my life. You know we gotta check out Cinderella's Fairy Tale Hall. It's a pretty good hall. This is a special walkthrough attraction where you get to observe various dioramas inspired by the classic animated picture, Cinderella. Is it the most fun attraction in the parks? No, but it's one of the few places you can go where they aren't selling you something. Cinderella, 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 Cinderella. Oh, what the fuck? Some of this shit is freakish. I may never recover from having seen it. I believe this is Professor Utonium and the 3 Powerpuff Girls. This dance is okay. It would be better if there was a cool chandelier up top, but it's okay. We live in the walls. We're always listening. The freak show is worth it because at the end you get to see Cinderella's actual glass slipper. This thing is amazing and practical. If you're at a Jewish wedding, you can use it to step on itself. Would you believe that an elephant can fly and it's just as boring here as it is anywhere else? How about Peter Pan's flight? Obviously they got this one back home too, but here in Tokyo it's not always a 4-hour wait. Again, no need to replace this scene in the Tokyo version of the ride. Here, politically correct is just a dream, a wish that your heart makes. Reminds me of this Pinocchio fella. Look at the way he lusts after that apple. I'm scared he's gonna call me by your name it. Hey, why haven't they replaced all this stuff with the Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks versions of the characters? I say give that movie its due. I gotta tell you, the story of Pinocchio really hits a lot harder when you're watching it while spinning around rapidly, and the actual beer and tobacco that they give you on this version of the ride are a nice touch. I know I was slagging on him earlier, but I gotta hand it to this Geppetto. He knows how to make the shit out of some clocks. You don't think either of these guys are child predators, do you? I just hope they're not child predators. Hey, Snow White, that one's all about child predators. Most Disney movies are if you think about it, but we don't have time to talk about that right now. This is the original scary version of the ride. Little pussy-ass kids can't ride this one. They're not brave like me. I only wet myself a little. I even overcame my crippling fear of dwarves. Let's see, what else do they have that sucks and that you already know everything about? Mickey's PhilharMagic is here. Same thing as the American parks, but dubbed in Japanese. Also a lot more World War II imagery for some reason. It's a small world after all. That's right, this architectural wonder houses one of America's favorite sleep-inducing boat rides. And every hour on the hour, a parade of cultural representatives storms out of the front and makes a brief appearance for all visiting guests. This is diversity at its best. Every culture you can imagine for just a couple of seconds, and that's all you need. And now, in celebration of those cultures, I will proceed to do an impression of the accent of every single country that's included on the ride. Hey, you hoser, sorry about tomorrow, you hoser. G'day, mate. See that wallaby over yonder? That's a beauty, that wallaby is. Skip. Skip. I think that's all the ones I'm going to do for now. Tokyo's It's a Small World is a lot like other It's a Small Worlds, only it's completely different and better. That's because it's been injected with a healthy heaping dose of IP. Who wants to see those boring, generic World Showcase-ass mannequins that populate the other parks? I want to see Elsa and Olaf. Now that's the Norwegian culture I came for. Cinderella and Prince Charming, of course, representing the white people. Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan representing the transphobes. How about this? Is this offensive? Leprechauns in Ireland? Just big old pots of fucking gold at the end of the rainbow? It's a world of cliches and stereotypes. It's a world of biases, that's not right. There's so much we can learn, but we've only got 8 minutes, so this is the best we can do. At least these designs are better than Jon Favreau's Lion King. And they didn't leave out my favorite Small World character, the sexual assault hippo. I think it started drinking early today, so watch out. Oh, and there's the 3 caballeros. Who needs Epcot? This is like completing the entire World Showcase in a fraction of the time. Look, the original live-action Stitch. He's from outer space, not Hawaii, but close. They haven't made a Disney movie set in Australia yet, so the best we can ask for is Boomerang Boy and Autism Awareness Kangaroo. Not content to represent merely the land cultures, this Small World even delves into the ocean. It's important to spread awareness of all peoples, whether they be Irish, British, Ugandan, or fish. These ones are just white people again, I think. Whew, okay, I think I made it out of that one without being canceled. But you'll tell me in the comments, I'm sure. Let's keep moving. Here's something fun. Just like Disneyland in Anaheim, the Tokyo Disneyland Haunted Mansion gets this Nightmare Before Christmas overlay during the spooky seasons. It's perfect for the locals who love Hato Tapiko. Some people think the Christmas decorations make the Haunted Mansion a little bit less spooky than it normally is. But as an atheist, I find it terrifying. Oh no, not the concept of people coming together with warmth and happiness and compassion in their hearts, all in the surface of a belief in a higher power that loves them and will help them through to the afterlife. No, anything but that, no! If you look close, you'll spot some additional lore from Nightmare Before Christmas that isn't revealed to you in the film. Like, I bet you always wondered how Zero died and became a ghost. It turns out they took all of his bones out, piece by piece, and put him in this pile. O great spirit of the crystal ball, I summon you forth to ask you one question. Where did you get that cool 80s style vintage retro Pizza Hut lamp? I didn't think they made those anymore. So is this a Halloween ride or a Christmas ride? I mean, what time of year are you supposed to go on this version of this ride? Because you can't go on it more than once. You have to choose. Do you go on this ride in October or do you go on this ride in December? There's only one right answer. Here's Santa's gift list for all American and Japanese girls and boys in the world. Eiichi must have done some dark shit to deserve the death penalty. Haunted Mansion is so fun. Look how these jack-o'-lanterns sing. It is the most delightful thing. And don't worry, fans of the recent Haunted Mansion film. They got you covered. Look, here's a cameo from Danny DeVito's character. I guess there's not as much room here for a whole set of hilarious pun-filled tombstones, so they just threw a bunch on this morgue-style wall. But they're pretty good. You got Ray Incarnation and Rustin Pease. Levitation, I guess, because ghosts levitate. Hobgoblin. I'm not really sure. That one's a bit of a stretch. Also, the pirate Bluebeard is buried here. Maybe because we're not that far away from Pirates of the Caribbean, and all of his wives got buried here too. It's funny stuff. Listen, it is always a treat to visit a Disney park in or around October, because They have some fun with Halloween decorations in various parts of the park. Here's an eerie little centerpiece with some Mickey and Minnie scarecrows and some jack-o'-lanterns. Look, you got the lonesome ghosts that are from that one level of the Mickey Mania game on Super Nintendo. And now some really funny tombstones. Benjamin All Night? That one's funny. How about Harper Opera? If you get a chance to catch the Halloween Spooktacular Parade, definitely don't do it. There's going to be a ride nearby with a shorter line while the suckers are out watching this. Do not stop for this. Come on, we know Halloween is old and busted. The new hotness is Tomorrowland. Here, not only can you encounter Stitch, but you can also encounter Cosmic. Our first stop in Tomorrowland is Monsters, Inc. Ride and Go Seek. Hold on a minute, Monsters running a corporate office? I thought this was the future, not the present. Presented by Panasonic, the people responsible for the bootleg copy of Monsters, Inc. that I watched at home. Actually, I didn't get around to watching that copy yet, which is why I was really pissed that there are blatant spoilers right on the outside of this ride. All I knew about Monsters, Inc. is that they had screams in it. They wanted to make the kids scream all the time. And now I find out it ends up that they just go after laughter instead. Ruined the whole movie. I was calmed down a little bit when I entered and saw this pleasing, inoffensive, bland artwork that looks like it was designed for a hotel room. Now I'm ready to get my laugh on. No, this isn't the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor, nor is it a roller coaster ride through an exciting sequence of doors. Ride and Go Seek is its own thing, where you play hide and go seek on a ride with a flashlight. Keep an eye out for some of our friends like Muggsy, who has been stabbed with several pencils, Rocky, who has 2 large blue nipples, and Ted. Mike Wazowski needs our help to find all the monsters we can hidden in the darkness. Aim your flashlight, come on, do you see them? Do you see the monsters? I see a couple of them. I'm shining my light on them right now. That's good. We're doing good. No, I don't. In this part, I don't see any. I'm looking. I just see a wall. I'm looking. I do not see. Oh, there he is. He was right over there. And then at the end of the ride, that jerk Randall is brutally murdered. And another example of Disney witchcraft is this door, which appears to have a room inside of it. And yet, if you look behind the door, there is no room behind it. How did they accomplish this? My theory is that Roy Disney made a deal with the Japanese Satan. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Arigato for coming on the ride. Misu kudasai. We're having fun, aren't we? Hey, why not take a moment, go down to those comments below the video, and let me know what level you think I'm at on the laugh-a-thon. Do you think I'm at a chuckle or a giggle or even a chortle? Perhaps even a hee-haw? I'd love to hear from you. I'm always looking to improve. In the meantime, there's all kinds of cool merch to check out. Plenty of stuff from Monsters University. That one's beloved, right? You all beloved it. I was gonna buy this shirt, but I thought to myself, I think I already get laid enough, thank you. Something Sully understands that I think not enough people take into consideration is the importance of having a tie that fits into the entire frame of a photograph. Don't give me a tie that gets cut off or is hidden by a jacket. I want to see that whole tie. Look at all the trophies the monsters have won for bowling and such. Clever and eye-catching designs on these trophies. Really makes me feel like I'm a part of this universe. Once again, you can buy one of the little ride vehicles that you sit in from an actual ride. A miniature version, of course. A full-scale one would be crazy. If ride vehicles aren't exciting enough for you, you can get toys based on parts of the ride that actually have characters and fun things going on in them. The American parks could sure learn something from these. I don't think you can buy any of this kind of shit in Florida. Or if you can, I don't want to hear about it because I don't care to be wrong. I hope you're all adhering to the employee grooming standards here. Definitely use a humorous odorant, such as giggle goo, tickle pits, or yucky yucks. Remember, it is laughter we are after. Look at these hilarious motherfuckers. I haven't laughed this hard since I saw Eddie Murphy's outfit in Raw. Now here's what I need, the 10 rules of comedy. These are from the monsters themselves, the masters of comedy, so this is pretty much the final word on how to be funny. I notice it says nothing about not punching down or about not jerking off in front of your coworkers. So that's the last time I let anyone tell me what's wrong with my stand-up act. For some reason, there's also a bunch of non-Monsters Inc. merch in here, which I hate. What happened? You rented out too big a space and you had to fill it? You made the building. What is this, Mickey Mouse rice or ramen or some shit? Okay, we get it. You're Japanese. Quit shoving it down my throat. Tomato soup. Now there's something that I can understand. All I need now is a triple bacon cheeseburger and some chicken nuggets and some french fries and a large Coke and a McFlurry. And that's a meal. Perhaps more Winnie the Pooh merch. Perhaps Mickey and Minnie getting to first base. Perhaps that rabbit from Zootopia that I want to fuck. Hey, I don't think those kids are old enough to drive. In fact, I think they literally just came from an area labeled baby center. But I don't know, maybe the laws are different here. I'll tell you what's not different here is Space Mountain. There she is in all her samey glory, only now she's presented by Coca-Cola. I love washing down my roller coaster ride with a nice frothy glass of capitalism. No phones or cameras, huh? Just try to stop me. They did stop me, so that's it for Space Mountain, but there's something else space-themed that's adjacent to this attraction, and that's Star Tours. Now, Galaxy's Edge hasn't made its way to Tokyo yet, but everybody over here still loves, for example, Darthu Vaderu. And Star Tours is the main place to get your fix. I don't speak Japanese. Somebody please put some English on these signs. Of course, since Star Wars is originally from Japan, they didn't feel the need to translate any of these Japanese signs, making this a tricky situation if you're a foreigner. Don't worry, I'm here to guide you. Hey, it's a droid, like from the movie. I hope we get to visit Coruscant. I hear they have drugs and space hookers. This guy knows what I'm talking about. POV, me putting this sticker on myself because it describes my inner feelings. What, I can't bring guns on this one either? What kind of a fucking country is this? You know, just like every version of Star Tours, the scenes here are randomized, so you never know where you're gonna go. I rode it 3 times while I was at the park because the lines weren't too long, and every time I got the fucking Rise of Skywalker sequence, and I wanted to kill myself, so I did. And the only thing that brought me back was the thought of delicious baked goods and treats at a nearby cafeteria. Here's one of the most popular treats at Tokyo Disney. I mean, if you look up the Disney food blogs, you're gonna see this fucking shit all over the place. People go gaga for it. It's melon bread. That means that it's bread, but inside is sort of a melon part. And it looks like Mike Wazowski from the movie. It's Instagram bait, like everything in the park, but it tastes fine. And you can pretend that you're tearing apart the flesh of a monster and hearing his screams as you do so. Hey, that gives me an idea for a dark fanfic. And I've got another idea for one that involves the rabbit from Zootopia. Gee, and people make fun of America for having bread with a lot of sugar in it. Over here, this is considered today's bread. No wonder everybody in this country is morbidly fucking obese. Wait a minute, maybe I criticized too soon. This Mickey Long bread has salt butter flavor? That's my favorite flavor. And of course I'm gonna wash it down with some Kirin lemon drink, which is sort of the Japanese equivalent of starry. Here, you want some more shit for your Instagram page? How about these alien mochi balls? They also come in stormtrooper form. Mochi's a pretty cool snack flavor they have in Japan. You gaijins probably wouldn't understand it, but if you're a cool guy like me, you're all about this shit. If you're looking for something more substantial, you can always check out the Pan-Galactic Pizza Port. Whether you're from America or Italy, you'll probably be nostalgic for some pizza while you're visiting, and this will fit the bill nicely. They've got both kinds of classic pizza styles. chicken and tomato calzone, and soft salami. So no matter where you're from, you're going to find something you like. And look, there's a little Jar Jar Binks mini-me working the controls. Oh, muy. Misa gonna make a good pizza for Yusa. Yusa gonna like this. Ooh, this a good pizza. Misa, pizza, Misa. Here's something else Japan loves. Baymax from Big Hero 6. You remember this movie? Nobody in America does, except for those fucking weirdos on the internet. But in Japan, Baymax is a bona fide celeb. People line up for hours to check out the Happy Ride with Baymax. And I can see why. People may rave about the technological advancements and thrills of, say, Beauty and the Beast or Monsters, Inc., but this Baymax ride, well, you go in a circle. Let's face it, no other ride is going to top this one, but we have to keep moving anyway. Why not explore one of my favorite Disneyland parks, Adventureland? Adventureland is home to what I call the 3 W's of Tokyo Disney. Waffles, Wendy, and waiting. We also saw Wendy in Fantasyland, but that was just one of the 3 W's. Here you get all 3 of the 3 W's. Adventureland looks like the type of place that would require you to be white were it in America, but overseas, all are welcome. From the aristocrats to the homeless trash, all of us can enjoy, for example, La Petite Parfumerie. This jasmine-scented perfume makes the perfect gift for when you want your wife to smell like a character who is canonically 15 years old. If you're a cool single guy like me, you're going to be hanging out on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. The ride itself is more or less identical to the Disneyland California version, including the changes that came out post-movies. Davy Jones still pops up and jump scares, as does Johnny Depp. I am happy to report that the wench auction scene is still intact. You just know the woke left is seething right now, realizing that this display of femininity still exists in dear old Japan. In Japan, woke is just a way to cook your noodles. Something else to appreciate is that the early portions of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride queue take place in what appears to be some sort of Victorian-era mansion. It's feeling like Jane Austen in here. Any one of the people in line behind me could be my future suitor. And Tokyo Disneyland also has the Blue Bayou restaurant attached. Hey, you guys enjoying your dinner? I bet I'm about to have more fun than you. I'm about to see pirates. How's your dinner? It looks good though. Do you think the pirate versions of Donald and Mickey and Goofy were rapists? Just because historically I feel like most pirates were rapists. Oh, nice. They have all the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales merch you could ask for. It's really hard to find this merch in the States. Yeah, this t-shirt has all of my favorite characters from Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. One of the most valuable items in this gift shop is the coveted crystal skull. Good news, 800,000 yen translates to roughly $42.50 American, so I bought 3 of them. No, trespassing pirates only. Pirates is my life. One of the most beloved Walt Disney originals is the Enchanted Tiki Room. Unfortunately, Iago and Zazu are not the hosts of this attraction here due to Japan's extensive anti-bird laws. But they do have something pretty unique in its place. Whose ship might this be crash-landed outside the entryway? Eagle-eyed fans may be able to spot an Easter egg before we even go inside. Take a look at the color of this suitcase. Extract that, tweak it a little bit, and yep, that's also a color found on the DVD copy of Lilo and Stitch. That's because this version of the Enchanted Tiki Room is all Stitch all the time. Aloha ikomo mai. That's Japanese for, howdy partner, why don't y'all come on in and set a spell? Lilo, if I find Stitch, I'm not going to return him to you. I'm going to sell him for top dollar to a hungry butcher. Also, you forgot to include your phone number. Before Stitch's show starts, you can entertain yourself with a little Polynesian culture. Did you know they kind of like flowers over there? And they love soccer most of all. Of course, in Hawaii, they call it football. Oh, quiet, the show's about to start. I get a kick out of these talking parrots, though I am confused because they sing in Hawaiian, but they speak in Japanese. I understand why they would speak in English, say, and then sometimes sing in Hawaiian. That makes sense to me, but
2 languages I don't know? That stretches my suspension of disbelief a bit too far. And something else I found confusing, these parrots, for some reason I wanted to fuck them. Hey, there it is, our first peek at the live-action Stitch. Man, he looks good. You know, they should really bring this version of the attraction over to America. Although I will give them credit, they did really improve on the Stitch's Great Escape attraction when they replaced it with an empty building you're not allowed to go inside of. Ohana, everybody! That's Japanese for, let's move on to the next ride. How about my second favorite Polynesian-inspired attraction? That's right, the Jungle Cruise. Coincidentally, also my second favorite cruise. Everyone in the world loves this ride. They love elephants, they love jungle, they love Sam, they love Molly. I had great time on the Jungle Cruise. Thank you. The animals were very interesting and our skipper was silly. By the way, my dad did turn into an elephant like our skipper said. Mom makes him sleep in the garage, but now he can carry all of us on his back. Love, Antonio. That's funny, the same thing happened to my dad after we went to Disney World. But Mom doesn't like to talk about it anymore. You know, I don't know if people in Japan have a real handle on the rules of chess. Uh-oh, found a typo on this lunch menu. Flavor should be spelled without a U. That's okay, I know learning a second language can be hard. It doesn't come naturally to all of us. Now there are a few ground rules before we get on this ride. Don't take food out of the animals' mouths. Don't imitate that one meme. Don't sit on a rhino's horn no matter how much you think you might like it. And definitely don't find yourself becoming hopelessly mesmerized by the slender, soft toes of a passing monkey. Yes, they're delicate and they're alluring. Just pass them by. I wish I could convey to you the humor of the Japanese versions of the Jungle Cruise jokes. It wouldn't really translate. It's kind of hard to explain if you're not a native speaker, but I actually thought they were funnier in Japanese. Oh no, Japan. No, you're not supposed to. We removed that. No, Japan. Misu kudasai. Let's move on to Westernland, which is still based on the western half of the United States, so there's sure to be less problematic material. I don't think the country bears have ever done anything controversial. They're bears. They're from the country. What could they say that would be wrong? Oh, now I'm remembering. They did wokeify these guys in the United States, but in Japan, it's still the original Country Bears show, albeit mostly in Japanese. All your favorite characters are here. They still have their famous country accents and everything. Now they just say they're from Osaka. You see, look, the Country Bears are equal opportunity offenders. There's no race they won't satirize. Jesus Christ, Disney, this is a family park. Would you stop trying to make me want to fuck all the animals? I admit, I did sign up for Wendell's Deer Fans, and he does a good job with the content. There's just something beautiful about this show that you can't replicate any other way. Look, you don't even need subtitles for this. This is universal. I mean, this is universal, but this is universal. We can all of us understand the plight of a lusty bear, or the struggle of removing blood from one's saddle. Even Martin Scorsese would have to admit that this is cinema. And that extends to the gift shop, where, unfortunately, they do not have any stuffed country bears, or I would have purchased them all. But they do have some cute little Western-themed items, some completely normal shirts for some reason, and some specialty t-shirts. They have one for every sexual position. You know, after watching a show like that, I'm gonna be a hungry bear. Which is why I go right next door to the Hungry Bear restaurant. This restaurant is famous for its curry, and you can choose between 3 different varieties: pork cutlet, chicken, and bear. I opted for the bear. I'm getting hungry just remembering it. Of course, I also got a green soda because it was near St. Patrick's Day at the time. And if you look closely at my plate, there's a hidden Mickey. Pause the video now, see if you can spot it, and I'll reveal it after some time has passed. Are you back? It's here. It wouldn't be a trip to Japan without a trip to the Mark Twain riverboat. There are many options for traveling around the rivers of America. From boat, to smaller boat, to even smaller boat, to even a train. But I say boat is the best one. The Mark Twain riverboat weaves through parts of Westernland and borders right up against Critter Country. That's why you can see Splash Mountain in the background there, even though we are not covering Splash Mountain yet. That's next. But it is slightly confusing. I wish they would draw clearer borders. Because frankly, in my mind, Westernland and Critter Country are the same. You know, the old saying is true. Life on the Miss really is sippy. A lot of big-time travelers come aboard the Mark Twain riverboat, jet-setting around to all manner of destinations. From the Hotel Mount Everest to the Hotel Excelsior to the oh no! It's a beautiful overcast day, perfect for enjoying a scenic river tour. Look, here come the famous ear-wiggling deer. There they go! And you couldn't call these the rivers of America without celebrating all aspects of American life and culture. Hey, remember these guys? Oh man, remember when they used to hang around? They were so fun. Whatever happened to these guys? And what about those ear-wiggling deer? Are you ready to feel old? This is them now. Big Thunder Mountain is here too, by the way. We don't have time to go on it. It's the same as in all the other parks, but it's here. God bless America. Also Japan. They're both countries. All right, let's stop off and explore Critter Country proper. Home of the world-famous Beaver Brothers canoe. Look, Ma, no oars. Critter Country really only houses a single ride. There's a couple places to eat, a couple of things to buy, but it mostly only exists to host Splash Mountain. Too messy, in my opinion. Get rid of it. Fold it into Westernland or add another ride or give it some of the stuff that Westernland has. I feel sorry for Critter Country. There's just not that much going on here. Like, who even represents Critter Country? There's no Brer Rabbit merch that I can find. It's Chip and Dale. Those are the titular critters. The rest are third-rate C-tier characters they had to dig up from the archives in a desperate attempt to fill out their shelves. This is Girl Bunny. This is Chip and or Dale in drag. This is Miko from Pocahontas. Hey, them I remember. They were so fun. Whatever happened to those guys? Oh, look, there's some more critters. Bear, beaver, raccoon, squirrel. Yep, checks out. Those are all the critters. Some might even call them varmints. I'm an adult. This is Brer Bear? Maybe? I don't know. It's a bear. The water is always cleaner outside of United States. No food dyes or salt are added. That's why it does not taste great. Now, I know you've all been waiting for this, our last big hype ride of the show. Splash Mountain in all its subtly racist glory. That's right, Tiana has not stepped foot in Tokyo. Because no one in America even remembers what Song of the South is. You think in Japan they care that it's problematic? This is like 12 times removed from its original context. Just let them enjoy their cute talking animals. Oh, you were gonna anyway? You weren't gonna fight me on that? All right, let's go inside. Wow, it really is Splash Mountain just like you remember it. Only here, the animatronics are maintained, so they actually move and work. And they all speak Japanese just with an accent, and they say they're from Osaka. Whee! Are we having a zippity-doo-dah day? Bear with me. We're almost finished with Tokyo Disneyland. There's just one stop left to make, and it's Toontown. It's been 15 years since Toontown was removed from Walt Disney World, Florida, and while it still exists in the California park, if you're like me, someone who's limited to only the East Coast of the United States or Japan, then seeing it here is a real treat. Toontown is a silly, wacky, cartoony reflection of our own normal towns. Why, here in Toontown, anything goes. Sometimes they end a word with a capital letter. The roads are safe and there's plenty of free parking. Women are allowed to own and manage successful businesses. Giant parasitic worms burrow through trees, and if you get too close, they'll burrow right through your skull. Here you'll find a place for just about all of your favorite Disney cartoon characters. Goofy lives here. You can tell because he decorated his roof with a model of his own hat. And the positioning of his car out front is indicative of his crippling alcohol addiction. Recently, Goofy transformed his home into a paint and play house, an idea I'm going to borrow to trick my friends into coming over and painting my walls for free. Goofy's a great decorator and sports enthusiast. He loves Jackie Robinson especially. He's also a thoughtful gardener, having constructed this in his own image to scare away those racist crows from Dumbo. In Toontown, even your laundry gets to go for a ride. But park guests are not allowed to go on this one. I asked multiple times. Look, here's where Goofy jumped off a diving board and crash landed onto the ground, creating an imprint in his own shape. This gives me an idea for a fun and creative way to injure myself. Donald Duck now lives on a boat, due to the effects of global warming. The boat is named Miss Daisy, of course, after that lady he likes so very much to drive around. Donald has photographs of all his loved ones on the wall, including the other two caballeros and Walt Disney, or as he's known in Japan, Captain Pedophile. Ah, the crystal clear waters of Toon Lake. Jealous, Flint, Michigan? And who might inhabit this fine tree but those two heroes of critter country, Chip and or Dale? You can tell there's kind of a class disparity thing going on between Chip and Dale and the other average-sized residents of Toontown. Even the smaller doors, windows, and staircases in this treehouse seem like they're designed for people of our proportions to inhabit and explore. I can hardly imagine Chip trying to retrieve cashew butter from this large jar up on this high shelf, or Dale trying to retrieve acorn butter from this large jar up on this high shelf, or Chip trying to retrieve peanut butter from this large jar up on this high shelf. Hey, why is this photo framed so poorly? Both of them are cut off at the edges. This is why I always shoot in landscape mode. The views from outside the tree are nice though, even if I still can't envision, say, Chip attempting to retrieve acorn butter from this large jar on this high shelf, or Dale attempting to retrieve cashew butter from this large jar on this high shelf. Perhaps that's why they make use of child labor to have their acorn butter churned fresh daily. That's right, push harder, children, or you'll be taking a boat ride with Captain Pedophile. Around the corner from Chip and Dale's treehouse is Gadget's Go Coaster. That's right, Gadget from Rescue Rangers has her own ride here. There it goes! There it goes! There it goes! And that's about as exciting as it gets. Minnie lives in this one. You can just tell from the exterior how much she thinks she's better than everyone else. Of course, Mickey's house is constantly mobbed with star fuckers. I respect the man, so I gave him his privacy and his dignity as well. Another fun Easter egg I'll point out for you. The license plate of this car back here, that is a reference to Mickey Mouse, who is the main cartoon character from Disney. And that is true of this other license plate back there as well. When Huey, Dewey, and Louie aren't being shoved into a smelly compartment on Donald's boat, these three toddlers are running their own cafe. Their food is simply ducky. Here you can order another one of the most Instagrammable treats there is, an egg and chicken on Chinese bun. I don't know why it's Chinese. This is a Japanese theme park. I came here to get Japanese culture. You see that in there? It's chicken. Well, according to the clock on the Toontown City Hall, it's just about 1:30 silly time. You may think that's an ordinary courthouse, but look closer. It's got Toontown's official seal. Think you know how to spell school, do ya? Well, here at Toontown, we do things a little differently. Wait till you see the third little piggy bank. Because the first two, I imagine, were huffed and puffed. It's likely you'll find Goofy over at the auto repair shop, what with all his drunk driving. Uh-oh, they have oil in Japan? Nobody tell the United States government. Oh, perfect. Before we go, I was hoping to pick up a baby, so this will be convenient. In here is where they keep all the signs that society deems necessary, but Toontown deems frivolous. Keep off the grass? Keep on the grass, I say. Gosh, remember when coffee was 5 cents? Thanks, current president. Hey, I've Googled that before. Oh, I wish I had come in here earlier so I could learn about Pluto's kennel. They're advertising complimentary bones in every room. At the Celebration Hotel, I have to pay a lot extra to get bones in my room. Hey, if anybody was wondering when we were going to get to the fireworks factory, this is it. This is it here. You can also come here to receive international mail. You better believe I tampered with all of it, committed all sorts of felonies. Nah, come on, I'm just joking with you. That's what you do in Toontown. And no better place to do it in than the Gag Factory. That's another thing I've Googled. This is where they make all the funniest stuff. Rubber chickens, banana peels, and outfits designed to be worn by grown men. A rare find here. They were selling these commemorative Coca-Cola bottles, celebrating one of many days I neglected to pay my taxes. Like Critter Country, Toontown also has a single ride. And here it's Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Uh-oh, I think somebody's a little too excited for this ride. More license plates means more Easter eggs. Casual fans may not catch all of them, but I'll get you started with one. This Merm 8 license plate is a reference to the fact that they use license plates in the film Cars. The queue for Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin is a nightmare world, taking you on a guided tour through some of your favorite scenes from the film, all while underneath a series of blacklights that feel designed to reveal things you don't want revealed. Remember when they used the dip to torture and murder cute cartoons? Kids, do you remember? That's it. They murdered cartoons with this, kids. Holy womana humana, oh ho mahamana hama hama, wooga wugga wugga wooga wugga wugga wow. Sorry, I lost myself for a minute there. Oh, war bonds, thank God. The idea of patriotism and supporting my country always helps me to cool down. Isn't this quaint? Remember before the internet, when if you wanted to sell something, you had to just post it on a town bulletin board? Why, I bet most of these ads aren't even subtle suggestions of prostitution. Oh good, they tell you how to make the dip. Why don't they just put the instructions to make a homemade bomb or crystal meth up on the wall next? Remember Baby Herman from the film? Humma, wabba 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 labba dabba labba wabba. On this ride, you get to enjoy sitting inside of the sentient cab Benny. And while you're inside of him, you can spin around and enjoy the sights and sounds of a noir cartoon hellscape. I'm telling you, there's gotta be semen all over this ride. How can there not be? You know, I hear a lot of you out there saying that you don't think Tokyo Disney has any parades. Well, sorry to be the bearer of bad news to all the haters out there, but you're dead wrong. In fact, they got this whole big one called Harmony in Color. It's a highlight of some of your favorite Disney movies, featuring extravagant parade floats, characters, and musical numbers. Of course, you've got your heavy hitters like the powerful and revered Baymax. All praise and glory be to Baymax, our Lord and Savior. May we please you with our offerings, and may you forgive us for our misdeeds. But they also hit on some of the slightly more obscure Disney films, like the Aristocats. When's the last time you saw something Aristocats themed at one of the American parks? Was it recently? If so, shut up! As this Moana float passed by, they played all of your favorite hits from Moana 2. Go ahead, think of your favorite song from Moana 2. They played that one. Some characters have been demoted from float status to sadly trailing behind on foot status. Sorry, but the 90s just aren't cool anymore. Today's young demographic only cares about C and G. Humma, humma, llama, llama, humma, hum. Well, actually, some of those walking characters do get their own floats if you wait for the nighttime show. After dark, you get to experience the Electrical Parade. This is the parade of the future. No longer must you squint your eyes in the harsh light of day. With the power of lights, you can have a parade anytime you want. Just another example of technology improving something objectively boring. Finally, Captain Hook's pirate ship can be the gay disco it was always meant to be. Why even forgotten classic Pete's Dragon gets its time in the spotlight. Look, there's Pete. And presumably in his hands is the dragon? Scoff all you want, I know you people like to make fun, but this is truly wondrous. The only problem is if one of these lights goes out, you gotta replace the entire float, and that's why they don't have the budget to fully light up the Cheshire Cat. I think it's also why they were only able to afford appearances from 2 of the 3 caballeros. What, would you look at that? A dog and a cat getting along? Maybe we're all not so different after all. And if you thought all that was special, you'll really like the nightly fireworks that close out Disneyland every single evening. And if you think those are special, you're a simpleton who's easily amused by loud noises and flashing lights in the sky. You're the reason our country is in the toilet. Don't forget to exit through the gift shop on your way out. There's all sorts of goods to peruse, from confectionaries to other goods. Why, they even sell Baymaxes here. Oh, well, now I'm seeing that the cats and dogs are being separated, each in their own window display. Well, now I don't know what to believe. These 3 imbecile ducks are also being separated. Although they wrote up a solid plan on the chalkboard, their efforts are less than impressive. This piece represents Mickey's less celebrated Dr. Robotnik phase. Kill me! Kill me! Of course, we're in Tokyo, so you gotta look for the obscure merchandise that you can't find when you're at home. That way you can turn around and sell it for way more on eBay. Try as you might, you are not gonna find quality sex toys like this in an American theme park. Girl Bunny. If you're looking for this doll in a Tokyo Disney shop, you can simply ask a nearby employee, "Na? Don't be fooled. Even in Japan, people still don't know who Oswald is. New items hot off the presses, based on cartoons from the 40s and 60s. Grab one while you can. Kids are going crazy for those decades. I was informed by one of the staff that one of these t-shirts is for boys and one of them is for girls. But I couldn't tell the difference between them because I am a feminist. I'm slightly confused by these Victorian-era duck mannequins. Presumably the 3 smaller ones are designed to be Huey, Dewey, and Louie, which would make this one probably Scrooge. But then who is this duck lady meant to be? Is that Scrooge's dead wife? Does Scrooge have a lady? I gotta brush up on my Scrooge lore. I appreciate merchandise like this that helps spell things out in case you don't know all there is to know. Who's the Sorcerer's Apprentice? Oh, Mickey. Thank you. Mickey Waffle? Yeah, Mickey Waffle so much they should change his name to John freaking Carey. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. For sale, Dalmatian hats, will never be worn. Honey, I swear I did not go to a Japanese strip club. This glitter is from the princess ears Honey, no, come back! Why not venture inside the penny arcade for all manner of game and sport? Challenge your friend to see who can spin a wheel faster. Allow the great American wise man, Uncle Sam, to tell you something about yourself. I got tax cheat. Do I have to report that? How about one of grandmother's predictions? I predict that you will waste your life watching videos like this one when you could have been calling me and talking to me and learning more about me before I died. I don't know, not enough stuff in here for me to actually take and consume and hoard. Let's try to find more stuff. Look, there is still some hope for physical media. You can find a selection of DVDs, Blu-rays, and compact discs. They even sell some of the music from the parks, which is something I always like because I think it's cool when there's a soundtrack for a place. You can even sample some of the music in store, like it's 1998 and you're at Borders. A trip to Tokyo is a small price to pay to complete your Disney pin collection. You have your choice of children's pins or pins for adults. Of course, I can't tell the difference between them because I'm a feminist. Oops. I'm out of money. I'm gonna have to go hit up an ATM and come back tomorrow. And that means that it's the end of part 1 of my Tokyo Disney video. We completely annihilated Tokyo Disneyland, which is to say, we covered all of the important parts. If you're a Disney parks enthusiast who's never made it to Tokyo, you might be watching this thinking to yourself, I don't need to go there. That doesn't look all that special. Most of those rides are things I've already experienced. And you're right, Tokyo Disneyland is more or less a souped-up version of Orlando's Magic Kingdom or Disneyland proper in Anaheim. There are a handful of exclusive rides that are admittedly impressive, and the classics you know and love hold up just as you'd expect them to. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're a local, it gets the job done and then some. But if you're a theme park veteran like this guy, then you might want to look elsewhere for something that'll truly impress you. That's why I have to settle Tokyo Disneyland with a final score of, say, a 9 out of 12, of course. Not my highest recommendation, but you kinda gotta go to see what they have to offer. It's a bit crowded and chaotic, maybe a bit basic in some regards. But if you want that pure, essential, distilled Disney park experience, this is the one you need to stop at. In part 2, I'll be exploring the other half of Tokyo Disney, Disney Sea, and we will see how that one compares. You're going to have to wait just a little bit for me to get those photos in order, but it's coming up soon, so stay tuned to the channel. Until then, this is Quence saying sayonara, a word I learned in Japan. And that's not nothing.